I mean, there's an American research institute that calculates that Russia has violated over 130 international agreements since invading Ukraine. And we learned this week that the Russian Prime Minister is now recommending that Moscow also withdraw from the International Convention Against Torture and so on. So no, the Russia cannot be involved in the definition of these security guarantees. That is something which Ukraine and its Western allies have to agree among themselves. Of course, the other part about NATO membership, which my old boss at NATO, Anders Fogh Rasmussen, mentioned, is that this is also something for NATO to decide and Ukraine. It's the right of every country in Europe under international law to join an alliance if that country so wishes. And that is a principle, by the way, that Russia also agreed to back in the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe after the end of the Cold War. And if NATO gives Russia a veto over NATO policy and NATO decisions, that means that NATO is no longer NATO. NATO loses its freedom of maneuver and sovereignty. And if Russia questions the legitimacy of NATO enlargement to Ukraine, it questions the legitimacy of all of the enlargements to Central and Eastern Europe, the Baltic states, Poland, Hungary, the Czech Republic, etc., which NATO has carried out since